And a high-octane political campaign in West Bengal is set to intensify as BJP top guns are going to be in the state today. BJP chief JP Nadda is going to be visiting the state today and addressing a mega roadshow in Bankura district at 11 o'clock. Later in the day, he's going to be chairing a meeting to review party's poll preparedness in Bishnapur district. He will also address a public rally in Kotulpur at 3 p.m. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh is also going to be in the state today. He's going to be addressing 3 poll rallies in Daspur, Sabang, Salboni constituencies. Apart from Nadda and Rajnath, Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath will also storm the battleground Bengal. He's going to be addressing 2 public rallies in Purulia and is all set to take on Mamata Banerjee's government in the state. It was a big Mamata versus Shah face-off yesterday as both held simultaneous rallies in Bengal ahead of the polls. After Shah was forced to hold a virtual rally as his helicopter faced a technical snag, Mamata took a jibe at the less crowds present at his rally. Here's a report that is coming in.
On Monday, Home Minister Amit Shah was to address a rally in the important rural constituency of Jhargram. But Amit Shah ended up addressing people of Jhargram via video conferencing from Kharagpur. The Home Minister apologized to the people who were expecting to hear him from the stage.
दुर्भाग्य से मेरा हेलीकॉप्टर क्षतिग्रस्त हुआ है और मैं आप लोगों के दर्शन करने के लिए उपस्थित नहीं हो पाता हूं और मैं आपको वादा करता हूं कि चुनाव समाप्त होने के पहले चुनाव का प्रचार समाप्त होने के पहले आपके दर्शन करने के लिए मैं वहां पर जरूर आऊंगा रूबरू आऊंगा.
The TMC was quick to take a swipe at the Home Minister, claiming the empty chairs at the Jhargram rally site prompted Shah's change of plans.
একটু দেখে নাও ঝাড়গ্রামে শুনেছি একটা সভা বাতিল হয়েছে আমাকে বললে আমি কিছু লোক পাঠিয়ে দিতাম.
Addressing a rally in Midnapur, Mamata's nephew and TMC MP Abhishek Banerjee joined in on the attack on Amit Shah.
ঝাড়গ্রামে আজকে স্বরাষ্ট্রমন্ত্রী সভা ছিল. যাই হোক তিনি যান্ত্রিক ত্রুটির কারণে তিনি সবাই গিয়ে পৌঁছাতে পারেননি, কিন্তু সবার যা ছবি আমার কাছে এসছে ভারতীয় জনতা পার্টির সর্বভারতীয় নেতারা সভায় আসছে, যা ভিড় হচ্ছে এর থেকে গ্রামে জেসিবি কাটায় লোকের বেশি ভিড় হয় দেখতে গিয়ে. চায়ের দোকানে সকালে আড্ডা দিতে লোক বেশি পাওয়া যায়.
Later, the TMC shared images of Mamata on a wheelchair addressing a big crowd at Purulia, with a tongue-in-cheek remark that there was no technical snag there. As electioneering picks up in Bengal, the psychological warfare is also intensifying. With BJP top guns descending in the state in droves, the battle of rallies is very much on. Bureau Report, India Today.
The face-off between AIADMK and DMK over Jayalaithaa death has escalated in Tamil Nadu ahead of the polls. A day after Chief Minister Edappadi Palaniswamy blamed Karunanidhi and Stalin for Amma's death, the DMK chief has hit back at EPS, addressing a poll rally in Thiruvarur. Stalin slammed EPS for the accusation and asked why did the ruling AIADMK took no action for 4 years for disinformation. Stalin has also dared EPS to file a case against him if he believes he and Karunanidhi were responsible for Jaya's death. Remember, Chief Minister EPS had accused both Karunanidhi and Stalin of pushing Jaya into depression by falsely accusing her in the disappropriate assets case, claiming it took a heavy toll on her health and ultimately she passed away.
இப்படி ஒரு கூற்றை சொல்லியிருக்கிறார். அது உண்மை என்று அவர் கருதுவார் என்று சொன்னால் 4 ஆண்டு காலம் நீங்க தான் ஆட்சியில் இருந்தீங்க. அப்ப என்ன பண்ணிட்டு இருந்தீங்க? ஸ்டாலின் தான் காரணம்னா உரிய நடவடிக்கை மீது நீங்க எடுத்திருக்கணும்ல. இப்ப சொல்றேன், தைரியம் இருந்தா தெம்பு இருந்தா ஜெயலலிதா மரணத்துக்கு ஸ்டாலின் தான் காரணம்னு வழக்கு போட்டு அதை சந்திப்பதற்கு நான் தயார். நீ தயாரா? நான் ரெடி. பழனிசாமியே நீங்க ரெடியா?
Tamil Nadu Chief Minister E. Palaniswamy has reignited Jayalaithaa death row by blaming DMK for her demise in a sharp and most direct attack. EPS said it was Karunanidhi and Stalin who were responsible for the death of Amma. He went on to claim that Amma went into depression after false accusations were levelled against her by the DMK. Here is the complete report.
Jayalalitha's soul will punish them. The piercing declaration that has gone out from Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Edappadi K. Palaniswamy. Over 4 years after Amma's death, a tragedy still under investigation, the poll-bound state's title defender has blamed the Karunanidhi family for their arch-rival's demise. If you're wondering what the connection is, this is what EPS had to say.
சிறந்த ஆட்சி இன்றைக்கு தமிழகத்திலே கொடுத்துக் கொண்டிருந்தார்கள். அவர் மீது வீண் பழி சுமத்தி இன்றைக்கு நீதிமன்றத்தில் நிரபராதி என்று வெளியில் வந்த பிறகும் மீண்டும் மேல்முறையிட்டு அவருக்கு மன உளைச்சலை ஏற்படுத்தி அவர்கள் இன்றைக்கு உரிய முறையிலே சிகிச்சை பெற முடியாத சூழ்நிலை அவர்கள் துரதிர்ஷ்டவசமாக மண்ணிலிருந்து மறைந்திருக்கின்றார்கள்.
And just to reinforce the image, he said it again.
மண்ணிலே இருந்து மறைவதற்கு காரணம் திராவிட முன்னேற்ற கழக தலைவர்கள் கருணாநிதி அவர்களும் ஸ்டாலின் அவர்களும் தான் என்பதை நாட்டு மக்கள் அறிவார்கள்.
The DMK has retorted with derision. The new attack is the latest in a spiraling crossfire that was detonated from India Today's Conclave South stage last week in Chennai, where temperatures were triggered by this challenge thrown down by the Chief Minister and the fiery retort 24 hours later from the same stage.
ஒரு மேடை அமையுங்கள், நான் ஒரு மைக்கை பிடித்துக் கொள்கிறேன், நீங்கள் ஒரு மைக்கை பிடித்துக் கொள்ளுங்கள், எந்த ஒரு துண்டு சீட்டும் இல்லாமல் மேடையிலே பேசுங்கள், எங்கள் மீது என்ன குற்றச்சாட்டு சொல்கிறீர்களோ அதற்கு தகுந்த பதிலை நாங்கள் சொல்கிறோம்.
என்னை அழைத்து விவாதிக்க தயாரா என்று கேட்பதை விட தமிழ்நாட்டிற்கு தலைகுனிவாக இருக்கக்கூடிய ஒரு நிலையில் இந்தியா டுடே வெளியிட்டிருக்கக்கூடிய அந்த பத்திரிகையில் ஏன் தமிழ்நாடு இடம்பெறவில்லை என்று இந்தியா டுடேயோடு நீங்கள் டிபேட்டிலே கலந்து கொண்டிருந்த போது விவாதித்திருக்க வேண்டும். அந்த கேள்வியை நீங்கள் கேட்டிருந்தால் உள்ளபடியே நான் பாராட்டியிருப்பேன்.
Jayalalitha's death has been a running feud in the poll-bound state, with the tug of war now reaching an angry peak. Stalin promised to deliver the truth on Amma's death if voted to power, a significant gesture in this ongoing tussle over her legacy.
மரணத்தை விசாரித்து அதற்குரிய தண்டனை யார் என்பதை கண்டுபிடித்து தண்டனை கொடுப்போம். ஜெயலலிதா மரணத்தை கண்டுபிடிச்சு தண்டனை கொடுக்குமா வேண்டாமா? வேணும்னா கை வைக்குங்க, நல்லா கை வைத்து காட்டுங்க. வேணும்ல தண்டனை கொடுக்கணும்ல, நிச்சயமா உறுதியா.
While this latest flashpoint shows that there is a power void post-Jayalalitha era, it also confirms that her towering shadow still looms across Tamil Nadu's state of war. With camera person Divyan, Pramod Madhav for India Today.
Prime Minister Modi has called for a virtual meeting with state chief ministers tomorrow after India reported its biggest COVID spike of the year. Yesterday, India recorded as many as 26,291 fresh cases, taking active caseload to over 219,000. The spike is largely fueled by rising COVID cases in 8 states. That is Maharashtra, Punjab, and Karnataka, Maharashtra, and also many others. Maharashtra remains to be the worst hit states, accounted for over 62% of Monday's new cases, also registering its highest single-day spike of the year at 16,620 new cases. Punjab government, on the other hand, has postponed the board examinations by a month. The state reported 634 new cases, taking its total tally of active cases to over 11,500. In view of the grim situation, Madhya Pradesh Assembly is going to be deciding on adjourning the House in all-party meeting today. This after 4 sitting MLAs, 5 marshals, 3 administrative staff members of the State Assembly tested positive. In South, B.S. Yadurappa government has decided to increase testing and contact tracing. It has also made RT-PCR tests compulsory for travellers arriving from Maharashtra and Kerala. Coronavirus cases continue to rise in Maharashtra. The state reported 15,051 cases on Monday. This is the fourth consecutive day that Maharashtra has reported more than 15,000 cases. The death toll in the state increased to 52,909 as 48 deaths were reported on Monday. Mumbai recorded 1,713 cases, Pune 1,122, Nashik 671, and Aurangabad 657 cases. Maharashtra is the worst impacted state in the country and is contributing 58% of the total active cases in the country. Nagpur is the worst hit as it recorded 2,094 cases. Nagpur is currently in a week-long lockdown and Latur is under night curfew due to spike in the cases. Meanwhile, Maharashtra Health Minister Rajesh Tope has said the state is going to be seeing stricter restrictions in force, but a lockdown cannot be imposed across the state. Time now for our special segment, which is on coronavirus, the good, the bad and the ugly. Here's a complete report.
Here is the good news of the day when it comes to the vaccination drive against COVID-19. In totality, India has given out more than 3.17 lakh doses of the vaccine ever since it began the world's largest immunization drive on the 16th of January early this year. In the last 24 hours, India has given out more than 18 lakh doses of the vaccine, and this number is a big one given the fact that our pace had been slow in the very beginning. It was a little sluggish and it has now picked up pace. But consistency is the key, is what many experts are saying, and targeting districts that are reporting a high number of cases should be the strategy in terms of bringing the situation under control. However, if you look at the absolute numbers, India now is just after the USA in terms of the total number of jabs that are being given out on a daily basis. Here is the bad news of the day when it comes to the COVID-19 pandemic. In spite of the vaccine doses being given out, the number of cases are surging in India. India is reporting more than 26,000 cases, new cases of COVID-19, and a handful of states are really driving the pandemic now. Maharashtra continues to be one of the worst affected districts, reporting more than 15,000 cases for the fourth day in a row now. Nagpur, in fact, is undergoing a complete lockdown starting Monday. There are concerns that there would be stricter measures required for other affected districts of the state. The situation is such that the Prime Minister has now asked for a meeting with all chief ministers on the 17th of March to take stock of the situation and assess what needs to be done, what's the kind of hand-holding that the states require to bring the situation under control to contain the spread of this infection. The ugly news of the day is of Gauhar Khan, actor who stepped out of her home and went for a shoot in spite of being tested positive for COVID-19. She's now been booked under relevant sections of the Indian Penal Code. The BMC has filed a case against her and there's an FIR against Gauhar Khan. She had tested positive for COVID-19 and went for a shoot, putting herself and others also at a risk. In fact, when BMC officials turned up at her house, she was not at home. Her husband was not at home. They had returned, in fact, after putting a stamp of a person in quarantine right outside her house. In spite of being tested positive, she was found roaming outside her home. In fact, neighbors complained and brought up this matter with the BMC. They're now taking action against Gauhar Khan.
High-profile Mumbai cop Sachin Vaze has been suspended from his duty after NIA got custody till 25th of March for his alleged role in placing explosives. Here is more coming on that story.
The probe in the Ambani bomb threat case has taken a dramatic turn, with a controversial Mumbai policeman becoming the central focus. Assistant Inspector Sachin Vaze was on Monday suspended, a day after his custody was given to the National Investigation Agency. Sources have told India Today that the NIA suspects Vaze was present at Carmichael Road near Antilla when the bomber parked an explosives-laden SUV. Vaze was leading the initial Mumbai police probe in the case before it was taken up by the NIA.
Waze, who's now an accused in the same case being investigated by the National Investigation Agency, has been remanded to NIA custody till March 25th.
The NIA has seized a white Innova car, which it believes is linked to the SUV parked outside the Ambani residence. NIA is probing if the person who left the Scorpio outside Antilla fled in the Innova car. Interestingly, the Innova was seen leaving Mumbai police headquarters, the CCTV of which has been accessed by India Today.
The Innova has been taken into custody by the National Investigation Agency, while Sachin Waze and his subordinates are being grilled by the National Investigation Agency to know their motive behind planting explosives and a threat letter near Antilla, near industrialist Mukesh Ambani's residence. With camera person Mangesh Amre and Mustafa Sheikh, this is Divyesh Singh in Mumbai for India Today.
Amidst an ongoing controversy over Netflix's latest web series Bombay Begum over the alleged inappropriate portrayal of children in it, a team of content creators from the OTT platform is scheduled to meet the National Commission for Protection of Child Rights at 11:30 a.m. today. The meeting is coming after 5 days after a national child rights body asked Netflix to stop streaming the show, citing the children shown in bad light in the series. The commission took strong exception to the scene where a minor is shown taking or rather snorting cocaine at the party. The action came on a complaint that alleged that the series normalizes minors indulging in casual sex and drug abuse. On Friday, Netflix policy head had met the NCPCR chairperson after the web series landed in legal trouble. Last month, 22-year Rashmi Samant created history by winning the Oxford University's Student Union elections. However, she was subject to racist comments by the students and even teachers on her social media. Now, India's EAM Jayashankar said in the parliament that the incident is going to be taken up with his counterparts. Take a look at this special report.
Oxford University, one of the world's top institutions of learning, is under cloud for alleged racism. 22-year-old Rashmi Samant created history when she was elected the Students' Union president at the Oxford University. But after breaking barriers, she soon faced a backlash. Her old social media posts were pulled up and taken out of context. Rashmi finally threw in the towel, opting to quit rather than face the harassment. The issue was raised in India's parliament on Monday. External Affairs Minister S. Jayashankar made it clear the government will take up the matter with the UK government.
I note the sentiments of the House that we have strong ties with the UK. We will take up such matters with great candour when required. We will monitor these developments very, very closely. We will raise it when required, and we will always champion the fight against racism and other forms of intolerance.
It had no caption.
Rashmi, speaking to India Today, had detailed the nature of harassment she faced. Rashmi claims she even got racist mails on her university email ID.
A few members in the student community started digging old social media posts, misinterpreted the captions to demonize me, and what followed was a very brutal social media trial along with consistent anonymous bullying, which happened through all of my social media platforms, including my university email ID, which is one of the most sacred places. You know, you're not supposed to send anything like that.
At times, even faculty members allegedly targeted her. Rashmi says an image of Lord Ram her mother had posted was shared, suggesting she was backed by far-right forces.
Making various vile references like, we all know who must have funded her election, we all know who must have supported her, and that Oxford is not ready to have a Sanatani president. So all these baseless, nasty allegations were made about my religion, about my upbringing and background, just because my parents are Hindu and I'm Hindu. And this was something a faculty member did.
A complaint she filed has not resulted in any outcome so far.
There's been a long paper trail, but there's been nothing conclusive, or there hasn't been any formal investigation so as to speak of. But I'm holding out some hope that, you know, that they do something about it. So
The government's intervention brings hope for Rashmi and other Indian students. While it may not lead to any immediate result, India, which has fought racism for decades, can't be silent when its own citizens face it abroad. Bureau Report, India Today.
That's it from me, Chaiti Narula, on this bulletin. For further news and updates, don't forget to log on to indiatoday.in or download our app.
Hi everyone, Preeti Chaudhary here. Hope you like this video. For latest news and analysis, like and subscribe to the India Today YouTube channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated. Thank you for watching.